Secretary of the Interior was in both Clarendon and Richland counties today. While in Clarendon County, she visited two sites that will soon be a part of the Brown versus the Board of Education National Historical Park. Somerton High School, the site of the Briggs versus Elliott case, and Scotch Branch High. Again, both will be added to the historical park. Well, events in South Carolina were key in the fight to gain civil rights in this country. The National Park Service and USC now teaming up to preserve those stories. Here's Nate Stanley.
The Booker T. Washington building sits on the outskirts of the University of South Carolina's campus in Columbia. Inside, classes are taught and lectures are delivered. But according to Megan Haxton, the most important thing this building holds is history.
It was the only public black high school in Columbia. When it was closed down in 1974, the community came together to preserve what they could of the school because it meant so much to the community.
On Tuesday, the school's Center for Civil Rights History and Research hosted a commemorative event where almost $5 million in grant money was announced to preserve civil rights history. The money will be used to renovate Booker T. Washington and create spaces for people to learn about South Carolina, a place Haxton says is often overlooked when speaking about civil rights history in America.
So many monumental things happened in South Carolina that influenced the nation.
Haxton told the story of Sarah Mae Fleming, a woman in Columbia who, similar to Rosa Parks, was asked to leave her seat while sitting on a bus on Main Street.
And when she did not move, she was beaten and forcibly removed from the bus. Her case was actually cited in Rosa Parks' case when it went up for when it went before the court a few years later.
Haxton also explained that South Carolina was a part of Brown versus Board of Education, a Supreme Court decision that said segregation in schools was unconstitutional.
We have several sites in South Carolina that reflect the elements of Brown versus Board of Education that played a role in that case.
Alvin Long graduated from Booker T in 1953. He notes that while growing up during segregation, he could walk through USC's campus on his way to school, knowing at that time he wasn't welcome in the university's classes. He says it's important to preserve Columbia's civil rights history so stories like his aren't lost on the younger generations.
If they take a little time and check the history of how far we've come, it'll do them a lot of good.
In Columbia, Nate Stanley, News 19, WLTX.